Good evening everyone, and welcome here on the Simracing Belgium Twitch channel for a very special edition. This time we will go international for the RaceRoom Communities League. So first time I think here on Simracing Belgium that we broadcast an event outside of Simracing Belgium. Maybe I'm a little bit wrong, maybe the ACC guys did it already, but for the RaceRoom series it's the first time we broadcast an event outside our standard Simracing Belgium event. So RCL. So looking now towards the Qualis. Qualis almost finished. Started a little bit late the stream due to some, maybe some medical issues from the commentator. So RCL. 15 Simracing communities, as you see on the top right corner, all united under one banner, coming together to race. So we all organizing it, especially of course our petrolhead team owner and driver Andy Darnell started it, but some communities helped Andy with the organizing. So hopefully we will have in the RCL competition some close, clean and thrilling racing. I will explain it all during these events. Tonight it's time for the Mazda MX-5 Cup qualifier. So this time RCL opted for the Mazda, the easy Mazda MX-5 to drive, where the best of the best from all corners of the sim racing world are ready to fight for a place in the main event. Yeah, that's right. From the September onwards we will do then after the quali races 5 main events. So here on this stream we're bringing you split 1. In 2 weeks I will present you as the split 2 and so on during the quali races. So first quali race at the legendary Laguna Seca, and as you see the famous corner, the corkscrew. Will we see some yeah, incidents, hopefully not some brave actions, hopefully in the corkscrew. Let's see, maybe also currently on top. Yeah, on top is Tobias Tirolf, already one of the top drivers in the leaderboard challenges. And indeed, that's right. The drivers already did stage to qualify for the RaceRoom Communities League, and that was during a leaderboard race at the Hockenheim National Layout. I think let's go towards the results. So almost 160 drivers qualified, participated in the leaderboard challenges, and even in Split 1, because Split 1 is chosen with the first driver, then the 5th driver, then the 10th driver, and so on and so on. So top driver of the leaderboards, Tobias Tirolf, and second fastest in Split 1 is Thomas Ribeiro. Let's maybe also see who is in our Split 1. Split 2 is for in 2 weeks. Of course, they are also racing, and I think Split 2 is, but maybe during the pause or on the Discord channels of the RaceRoom Communities League, you can find the link for the other splits. So Split 1, Andrea Ruiz, Adria Seeg, maybe skipping some drivers. Who are the fastest? A lot of RaceRoom Netherlands drivers in Split 1, like Sneijder, Pater, Volker de Gouw not able to participate, so a DNS. Of course, also during the quali races we have a skip result available, so it's summertime, so a lot of drivers not able to participate in all races, therefore we opted for skip results in the qualifying stage. Yeah, let's quickly go now again towards the stream. Maybe now staying with Martin Pater, one of our RaceRoom Netherlands drivers, and quickly going, and let's see if it works, because the test phase was not optimal. Some driver information for the RaceRoom Netherlands. 3 drivers in Split 1. Let's see who are the drivers. First drivers, as we are looking with Martin Pater, the old Pater, Alkmaar Steyr King, as we know him from our community races. Martin can especially be kind on the tires, so from rubber to rum, Alkmaar Steyr King qualified in P69, so yes, also a funny number. Wasn't enough a place for Martin Pater, so expect him mid-pack. Second driver for RaceRoom Netherlands, the team owner, Jos Sneijder, the Flying Dutch Windmill, also on the leaderboard around the mid-pack P57. So from the narrow country roads to racing on the circuits, a true man of the polder and the track, the old master of RaceRoom Netherlands, driving with number 51. Jos Sneijder, and again, yeah, some only 2 driver charts available. Of course, the other driver for the RaceRoom Netherlands is Volker de Gouw. As you can see in the right top corner, we have also 15 main communities helping with the RaceRoom Communities Leagues. One of the big sponsors and also giving some prize money is Isar Race Club. So I think they have 5,000 VRP available for the drivers driving in the RaceRoom Communities League. So a prize pool from 5,000 VRP thanks towards ESR. Also Axiom Sim Sports. Let's maybe go towards all communities. IY Racing. Opera Racing. Of course, one of the main organizers of the RCL League, the Petrolhead team, with a special thank you towards Andy Darnell. RaceRoom Netherlands, with a lot of drivers here in the Split 1. Race for fun. Currently 2 Germans on top, still Tobias Tierolf, and now with a new almost very tight with 300ths of a second of Frieder Braun. Also another community, as we know him from Jeff Ecott, SCB Racing community, also Nicholas Campbell driving it for it, from South Africa, Simracing Experience South Africa. Of course, one of the, we all know, Simracing Belgium. In Split 1, no drivers of Simracing Belgium. You can only see the drivers of Simracing Belgium in the coming weeks in Split 2, 3 and 4. One of the top teams in RaceRoom, Tugas Racing, as they now have the pole in Split 1 with Tobias Tierolf, BRC Racing Team. I think we are coming to the end. Yeah, and the last one, a Brother Ups Racing Team. Let's maybe, with only 3 minutes on the clock, let's see who is competing at the top. Tobias Tierolf on pole. Frieder Braun, I don't think he had that good of a time in the leaderboard challenge. Of course, we also know one of the top drivers, Thomas Ribeiro, was driving for the Tugas Racing team, but shifted towards Absolute Motorsports. But we maybe need to check with Thomas Ribeiro on his team name. He's now a privateer, so maybe also left the Absolute Motorsports team, but a fast Portuguese driver. So probably also battling it out for the win. From the funny onion, French onion soup team drivers, Oriol Balmana from Spain. And you see the gap, so probably a tight fight between the top 3, and then already a gap of 0.6 of a second. Who is still on a lap? Can I see who is out? And of course, yeah, from the broadcast app is updated, so I can see now a little bit more data than our standard races here broadcast on our stream. So like I can see how many damage the car has, the pit count, the yeah, indeed the tires, of course, all same tire in the Mazda MX-5, an easy car, all the same tire compound. Also, I don't expect 2 times 30 minutes on the clock, so with a reversed top 5, so not that big, the top 5 will be reversed for race 2. Qualifying results: Tobias Tierolf on top, next to him starting from Thomas Enge Simracing, Frieder Braun. Yeah, and I think he also quitted from Absolute Motorsports, so now a privateers, our Portuguese driver Thomas Ribeiro. Next to him, Oriol Balbana, but already with 6 tenths on the clock. Then Paul Riccobene from Isar, Martin Bakker, Sergej Slepak, Joe Senna from the Petrolheads, Dirk Moltz, Jay Cornish, Martin Pater, Michael Matusiak, Jos Snyder, Jesus Bolanos, Ricardo Costa, Rodrigo Matos, Pavel Bogdan, Fabrice Gengi, Arias Ambarer, and some other drivers. Waiting for the warm-up phase, maybe we can run down some of the drivers. It will be not the ideal situation. I will do a screen capture and then quickly go towards our drivers. So Thomas Ribeiro, Dragao do Asfalto, qualified in a P5. The Dragon of the Asphalt, breathing fire on every lap. Thomas Ribeiro commands. Not anymore. Absolute Motorsports Acelet. Some sponsorship for Absolute Motorsports when they have no driver on track, but with fierce passionary and legendary power. Qualified in a P3. Other driver, Frieder Braun, in P2. I was saying he didn't qualify well in the leaderboard. Wasn't true. P9 on the leaderboard, so also a fast rider off the track of Best Buds Racing Team, striking the track with lightning speed. Frieder Braun, the storm of the Best Buds Racing Team. Then from Portugal, Rodrigo Matos, Matos de Douro. As powerful and graceful as the winding Douro River itself. From Portugal, qualified on the leaderboard in P89, so expect also Matos around the mid-pack results. Important, if you want to, during the main event, if you want to be in the broadcast split, in the first split, yeah, you need to finish in the first 8 positions probably for a place during the main events in a split 1. Let's quickly go towards the auto director and then we will go for the next drivers. ESR having 2 drivers in split 1. Mauricio Delgado from Peru, the Red Mist from the Andes. Rising like the dawn over the Andes, Jesus Delgado, the Red Mist, blurs the line between speed and a legend. From Isar Racing Club, also qualified around a mid-pack. Second driver for ESR, Paul Riccobene, unlucky number 13. Unfortunate, also qualified in the leaderboard as P13, so maybe we'll see Paul Riccobene also in place 13. Defying the odds and dodging the curse, Isar's lucky charm, Paul Riccobene races with heart, turning 13 into triumph. The funny French onion soup drivers team with Oriol Balbana, El Cebalon Amarillo. Yeah, pretty much top driver, P30, so will be on the line, borders between split 2 and split 1 for the main event. The big yellow onion peeling back the competition with style and spice. Oriol Balbana, the golden flame of the French onion soup team. And as we are lining up on the grid for race 1, a 30-minute first quali race here at Laguna Seca for the first race of the RaceRoom Communities League. Let's switch off the auto director and go towards the front of the race. Let's see if we can do an helicam. Yes, we can do the helicam. So we have an overview of the Andretti hairpin, and the race is on a good with Tobias Tierolf, Frederik Baun, no real position changes towards the Andretti hairpin. Ribeiro, is everything going like plan? No crashes, no crashes. Good hairpin from all drivers. Let's go again towards the front of the race. Thomas searching for the names, of course, not familiar with all names, so a little bit searching on the leaderboard. Thomas Ribeiro really on the bumper of Brown, looking for an overtake. Maybe a quick overtake is needed. An overtake done towards the corkscrew. Let's see. And let's see in the background. Oh, Paul Ricobene had a crash, lost 13 places, now driving in a last position. Let's go towards the front of the race. Tobias Tierolf building up a slight gap towards Ribeiro, Brown and Balman. After the first four drivers, we have a bigger gap towards Martin, Bakker, Slepak, Matosiak, Moltz, Cornish, and then Martin Pater trying to connect with the top 10 drivers. And a fierce battle for the top 10 place between Martin Pater and Joe Senna from the Petrolheads team. Of course, the quali races are not the most important races, though, so during and a late lunge into the corkscrew, Joe Senna was seeing the late dive from Rodrigo Matos, and he was leaving some room for Matos, a little bit left, skipped the corkscrew chicane. But defended well from Matos. Let's see if Matos can make a second attack on the P10, P11. So this is the fight for the top 10 in Split 1. And as you can see on the leaderboard, Paul Ricobene from ESR already moving up to again towards P19. So after probably a slight incident, he is coming back. Paul Ricobene. Yeah, Paul Ricobene qualified in P13 on the leaderboards, so one of the top drivers of ESR. So expect a lot of overtakes. We can maybe follow Paul Ricobene with his comeback. Yellow on track, Pavel Bogdan think Pavel Bogdan is driving for SEB. And now some clean air for Bo Ricciabene. Need to catch up with Arias. Xavi Arias. Then for VRL Motorsports, already 3 or 4 seconds up. Gengi from the VRL team. But let's go towards some close action here on track. Oh, the camera image. A fight with Moltz, Kornic and Matusiak. Fight for P7. And as you can see in the background, P10, P11, Martin Pater, Joe Senna are connecting with the battle. Dirk Moltz heavy on the curbs. Yeah. On the Laguna Seca track, we all know if you cut the corners a little bit too much, especially in those Mazda's little cars, and especially in this corner, we all know the red or the yellow sausage curb. If you hit them, you go airborne, flying, and probably ending into the wall. Fierce battle, Dirk Moltz with Jay Cornish, Martin Pater also trying to overtake, so yeah, RCL full grids, especially for RaceRoom, as we have a max driver numbers of 32, so almost full grids, not up to the top full, but of course easy for the server to handle. Now 23 drivers here in the split 1 server. Of course, some drivers already announced their did not start. As already said, it's summertime, barbecue time. Like Volker de Gouw, our Simracing dad, he is probably of one of the Dutch tracks, needed to go towards a karting race of his son. Of course, dads need to participate in the real events of his son. So first DNS for Volker de Gouw of the RaceRoom Netherlands team. Let's go towards the top of the race, because the fight is now on. Thomas Ribeiro overtook Friedrich Braun in the first laps, now close the 1 second gap, and the fight is on for P1. Tobias Tirolf and our Portuguese drivers Ribeiro, the top 2 drivers here in a split 1. We all know the aliens, Tobias Tirolf for Tugas Racing and Thomas Ribeiro, former racing drivers of Tugas Racing. Into the Andretti hairpin, probably Ribeiro is looking for a mistake of Tirolf. Tirolf, for our Simracing Belgium viewers, is also now participating in the Fun Championship Group C, Group 5 on Simracing Belgium. So for the Simracing Belgium viewers, drivers, they are now familiar with the top-notch alien level of Tobias Tirolf. Ribeiro looking, but not a real corner to overtake. Maybe in the braking zone towards the corkscrew. Let's see. Will Tobias defend? Not really. Of course, Laguna Seca not easy to overtake. Let's maybe check our, of course, our chat. Yes, Jos Schneider on the chat. Uri Loki. Hello, Uri Loki. Not, of course, some new names on the Twitch channel, of course. Maybe some fans of our split one drivers. Ayrton Tace. Yeah, we need Le Mans Old, but maybe switching towards Simracing Belgium. We will first do another ACC league in autumn, and then in 2026 probably switching towards a Le Mans Old. But for now, staying with RaceRoom. Ayrton Tace still maybe some places free here at Simracing Belgium. Of course, the RCL league is closed for registration, but the new seasons are open on SRB starting in August. I see in the background the fight for position, not really position 3, because Ariel Balmano also pulling away from the main peloton, and the main peloton is currently led by privateer Maarten Bakker from the Netherlands. Behind Maarten Slepak and Frederik Braun losing some lost 4 positions, probably an incident for Frederik Braun. And again on the broadcast app, still a heavy fight around P8 in the main pack. Again going towards Matasiak, Pater, Bolanos, Snyder in his orange Mazda MX-5. Behind Snyder, Joe Senna, and then Ricardo Costa. Yellow for Xavi Arias, P19. And as you can see, Maarten Pater a little bit touched the yellow such curb. If you heavily touch them, you can maybe hit them, slide them, but if you really go over it with your tires, yeah, we will maybe see some two-wheel driving, and that's due to the such curbs. Heavy fight between Bolanos, Snyder, Senna. Snyder on the inside towards the corkscrew. Will the overtake already been done on Bolanos? Yeah, very nice from Jos Snyder of the RaceRoom Netherlands team. Overtake on Jesus Bolanos. And is that? Yes, indeed. In the background, we see Paul Ricobeno did had a crash or an incident. Yellow for Maarten Bakker. Lost his car in T3, T4. Losing some important places. Was not really in a fight with another car, so I think it's an incident on his own, but that brings Ariel Balmano now on the last podium place, also free from other drivers. And of course missed it, unfortunate. The overtake for P1, Thomas Ribeiro did the overtake, and now pulling away from Tierolf. Yeah, a lot of action. The split, the qualifying split, not really that competitive because we have our alien top drivers of the Hockenheim leaderboard on top, but that means of course also that the slower drivers of the Hockenheim are also in this split, so a very diverse grid, but we are still seeing some very tight close wheel racing between some drivers. But for the main event, that means very much action from I think the last weekend, last Saturday from August up to December, we have our main events. Halfway, race 1, Thomas Ribeiro in the lead, pulling away from Tirolf. In third place, Oriol Spalmano, then Sergej Slepak, Friedrich Braun also pulling away. You now see the top drivers really on their own pace, pulling away from the main peloton. Main peloton again led by Martin Bakker in P6. And again, warnings for close action racing on the broadcast app. Martin Pater with Matusiak. And then again a battle. Paul Ricobene trying to catch Joe Senna. So a nice comeback from Paul Ricobene. Halfway the race did had a spin, I think, or maybe an incident in the first lap, and now catching halfway the pack. Yeah, indeed, exactly now halfway the pack. So yeah, still 50 minutes to go for Paul Ricobene. I think maybe a P6 is in the possibilities, but of course it will be more difficult to overtake the other drivers, the top 10 drivers of the grid. Let's maybe also go towards the other drivers. In P14, tight battle between Ricardo Costas and Bolanos. Ricardo Costa, the other driver of the Tugas racing team. So we have Tirolf and Ricardo Costa all driving with the 8-bit livery. In P18, Andreas Seeg for the 944 Housewife Racing Team. Colin Skittles, and also a battle, just an overtake on the stream from Nami Tsunami for the French Onion Soup team. Just overtook Colin Skittles, so also some nice actions in the lower places of the grid. Now coming towards Jay Cornish in P7. Trying to catch up with Martin Bakker. And again, mid-pack, side-by-side actions between Joe Senna, Jos Sneijder. And behind Jos Sneijder is Paul Ricobene still with his comeback, now trying to overtake P10, P11. Yeah, on the inside here, on the long left-hander towards the end of the lap. Jos Snyder making it Paul not that easy. Hard braking zone, and on the inside overtake on P11 for Paul Ricobene. I think now it's the time for Jos not trying to overtake, but just follow Paul, a much faster driver on a track. And probably Frederik Braun again with some incidents. Frederik Braun, yeah, his car, I think there is suspension damage, a lot of suspension damage for Frederik Braun. You can see it, some, yeah, how do you call it? Really some grabbing for Frederik Braun and losing a lot of time, a lot of lap time. So overtake done by Maarten Bakker, and I think Jay Cornish will do the overtake on Frederik Braun in some minutes. Let's maybe drive with Jay Cornish. I think Jay didn't expect to break that early, just avoided a rear ending. Of course, now need to catch up again with those two Mazdas, Maarten Bakker and Braun. Let's go back again towards the battle for P10. Joe Senna in front of him, the Polish driver Matosiak, and then behind him in his rear mirror, Paul Ricobene from ESR Racing Team. Let's maybe check the other splits. So in split 2, oh, split 2 is not live, I think. Oh yeah. Okay, so in split 2 we have currently in the lead. Let's maybe open it.
Our charger is Stefan Frey.
Peter Daniel and Simracing Belgium driver Gunnar Rickes in second position. Let's go towards split 3. In the lead over there we have, yeah, of course, the 3 letter names, Hicks, I think, and in second position Jiri Krattegville, with third position for Bo Dixon. In split 4 we have currently in the lead yeah, of course not familiar with the name, so a little bit searching for it. Let's go again towards our stream. Oh, Yuri van Brussel also on the stream, so one of our Simracing Belgium crew members, but more especially for the ACC racing team. And indeed some close racing, but yeah, it's the quali races, not the races where we expect some closer racing, because the driver diversity in the quali races is big. The quali races are meant to split our grids, so probably our top 8 drivers here in split 1, we can expect them then in the top split for the main event races from P9 up to P16. We will put those 8 riders together with the other 8 riders of the other splits in the second split for the main event, and so on for split 3 and split 4. But it's currently still staying with Joe Senna. Joe Senna trying to have a place in the top 10 in the last 5 minutes of the first race. Trying to have an overtake on Matusiak. And currently that's the only battle on a track. Joe Senna really being held up by Matusiak. As we can see, Jos Sneijder is catching those two fighting Mazdas. Some blue flags. Who is the blue flag driver? Jesus Bolanos. Yeah, Jesus. Almost all drivers passed, or the first 10-12 drivers already passed. Now you have a little bit space to breathe. Of course, not easy for the slower drivers. At the end of the race, they're being catched by the top drivers, and then, as all drivers know, you need to check your rear mirrors for the blue flag overtakes, especially if those top drivers are fighting for every place. They want to catch you or they want to overtake you as soon as possible. Back towards the battle between Matusiak and Senna. The white Mazda, also a blue flag, Nami Tsunami. Towards the corkscrew. Ooh, Jos Sneijder almost taken out by the blue flag driver. Oh, Jos very late on the brakes. I think Jos is now pushing it in the last 2 minutes, trying to have a 2-man overtake. Well, let's see, what is the lap time on Laguna Seca? 1:37. Switching towards the top. Ooh, Thomas Ribeiro with some damage on his Mazda MX-5. Still in the lead, but I can only see he had an incident with a blue flag driver. But impacted Ribeiro not that much, still in the lead with 5 seconds, and with only 1 minute on the clock we are almost on the final lap of race 1. Let's quickly go because the overtake is done by Jos Sneijder on Joe Senna, and now Jos Sneijder is putting some pressure on our Polish driver Matusiak. of course, here in RaceRoom we have fixed liveries, but the drivers a little bit searched for some similarity with their teammates. So Jos Snijder driving the orange Mazda MX-5, presenting the colors of the RaceRoom Netherlands team. And as Jos said, a very famous car number 51, not famous from motorsports, but I think it's a famous number. Aren't the Ferraris driving with 50 and 51? The WEC hypercar Ferraris? Not sure, but who was cycling in number 51? Indeed, that was our Belgian cyclist, the cannibal from Belgium, Eddy Merckx. Is Jos Snijder the cannibal from the Netherlands in his Mazda MX-5? Well, let's see if he can take the just in time for the finish of Thomas Ribeiro. Thomas Ribeiro taking the victory here in race 1 on Laguna Seca. Then Thomas Ribeiro in second position. Oriol Balmana in third place. Slepak taking fourth position. And then the pole for race 2, as we have a reversed top 5 for race 2. Martin Bakker from the Netherlands, privateer in a P5. Jay Cornish in the background in 6th position. Yeah, some trouble for Friedrich Brown, a lot of tension, probably a lot of suspension damage for Friedrich Brown, finishing in P7, and then a very tight battle for the top split places. Martin Pater in P8, Paul Riccobene P9, Matosiak defended from Jos Snijder and taking the last top 10 place. Then places for Joe Senna, Ricardo Costa, Rodrigo Matos, Paul Bogdan, Genki, Andrea Seeg, Colin Skittles, and then still driving on track, Nami, Tsunami, and Bolanos. Also the fastest lap for Thomas Ribeiro. Yeah, only 5th in the leaderboards, but of course the leaderboards not that important, so some drivers didn't put much effort in the leaderboard laps. But a nice victory for Ribeiro. With some time on the clock, with the warm-up now going on, it's time for the other drivers to present towards you. And we were with Oriol Balmano finishing in P3 in a race 1 for the funny, the meme team here in RaceRoom, the French onion soup drivers Oriol Balmano, El Sablon Amarillo, the big yellow onion from Spain, peeling back the competition with style and spice. So as we could see, finishing in was it? Yeah, we will check it later. But Oriol Balmano, the golden flame of the French onion soup team. Then, second driver for the French onion soup drivers, Nami Tsunami, the Spunami. One of the slower drivers here on the grid from the US, coming in hot from the land of Drive Trust and Daytona Blues. It's Nami, the Spunami Tsunami, steering up chaos in every corner, slurping apexes and leaving only soggy croutons in her wake, racing for the legendary French onion soup team, Nami Tsunami. Then from the Petrolheads team, 2 drivers from the Petrolheads in split 1. Adrian Ruiz from Spain, El Tractor de la Sierra. The tractor from the mountains, big on charm, easy but steady driver. Adrian Ruiz, I don't think, let's check if Adrian Ruiz is in the server. I don't think it, so a DNF for this driver. And then of course Joe Senna, we saw him a lot of battles for Joe Senna here in race 1 with Martin Pater, with Matusiak. We also know Senna, the Sahara Slammer, so tearing up the dunes like a sandstorm, lap times hotter than the Algerian sunburns. The latest recruit and powered by the Petrolheads team, Joe Senna. In the leaderboard, P45, so a close one to have him in the top split or split 2 for the main events. Then Michael Matosiak for the Polish Eagle Hunters, the Baltic Eagle from the salt-kissed shores and skies of steel. Matosiak rises, the northern wind beneath his wings, the hunt in his soul. From Poland, Paul Matosiak, P53, so probably expect him in split 2 for the main stages. I think finishing now in P9, so yeah, if he can improve the next races, Paul Matosiak can maybe make the top split. Then Dennis Amberger, their Strassenguide, a blast from the past, timeless speed. Dennis Amberger hounds every corner. Martin Bakker, we also saw him finishing in P5 on pole, the pole, the arrow, straight from the flatlands, cutting through the pack. Martin Bakker, the arrow of the Dutch polders. Jay Cornish, also one of the top drivers here in split 1, the British Bull. So leaderboard P33 place from the UK, charging the circuit with raw power and British grit. Jay Cornish never backs down. And cutting it with the driver overview, let's quickly go towards race 2. Quickly go towards the broadcast app, and there we have it. Ooh, is that a false start off? Is that Sergei Slipak? Let's see it. It was who is driving in the grey car. Of course, not an ideal camera view. No, it's now. Ooh. Is Thomas Ribeiro the driver with the jump start? It was looking he had a good jump start, but maybe started in P6 and now after 3 corners already in P1. I think we have a jump start for Thomas Ribeiro. Otherwise, no real position changes. Martin Bakker in 2nd place, Balmana 3rd place, so as they finished in the top 5 of race 1. Normally the penalties are on, so yeah, we should see a drive-through penalty for the jump start of Thomas Ribeiro. Of course, if he receives a drive-through penalty, it's not wise to directly serve your drive-through penalty. If he has it, he will probably go in the pit lane in 2 laps, so he has some lead towards the other drivers. When a very tight battle, as we see Tobias Tirolf trying to overtake our Russian driver Sergei Slipak. On the outside of Slipak, That's Friedrich Brown with the overtake. Also Jay Cornish trying to overtake Slepak. Oh, Martin Pater with a place gained. And unlucky number 13, the grey Mazda MX-5, 2 places behind Martin Pater, really on the bumper of Jay Cornish. Paul Ricobene side by side, almost 3 wide into the chicane, and Paul Ricobene with the overtake on Jay Cornish. So the comeback for Paul Ricobene is still going on. We saw an incident for Paul in the first lap of race 1, moved up to around P9 I think, and now already busy with the other overtakes in race 2. Oriol Balmano trying to hold the bumper of Martin Bakker. Tobias Sterolf in P4, 3rd place in this group. Let's move down towards the pack. Martin Pater trying to catch Sergei Slepak. And in the top group behind Ribeiro we see Frieder Braun trying to overtake his German racing driver Tirolf. Maybe not that wise, trying to maintain the speed in the group, or maybe all drivers in this group know that there's no fighting possibility towards the alien driver of I would say again Tugas Racing, but it's not Tugas Racing. Thomas Ribeiro, now a privateer, but a very fast privateer. And Frieder Braun with the overtake on Tobias Tirolf. Oriol Balman now in second position, leading the first group of Mazdas. And on the top, as already 3 laps passed, Ribeiro, no penalty. Oh, unfortunately. Ooh, yeah, Friedrich Braun with the overtake. Dom Alma Martin Bakker. Tirolf also now looking towards Bakker for the overtake. Of course, Frieder Braun. Suspension damage is fixed here in race 1. The engineers, the mechanics of the Thomas Enge Simracing team did their work in 5 minutes. Full suspension fix for Frieder Braun, and Frieder Braun now finding his pace again. And as we could see, Frieder Braun, one of the drivers who belongs in the top 3 here in Split 1. not sure if it is wise to leave the battle here at the top between Martin Bakker, Tobias Tierolf, Frieder Braun. But I think there is also a battle going on for P8 between Martin Pater, Jay Cornish and Joe Senna from the Petrolheads team. And maybe a funny anecdote. Yesterday was talking with the other team owners to have some more information about their drivers, and even the team owner of the Petrolheads was saying Joe Senna, a Brazilian driver, but not. It's an Algerian driver, of course. Everyone, if somebody is hearing the name Senna, everyone is thinking you're a Brazilian driver. But also other continents, other nationalities have also the name Senna. Probably his dad or mom fans of F1 and fans of Senna. Who isn't a fan of Senna? So from Algeria, Joe Senna currently in P10. I think his race 1 finish was also around P10, battling it out with Jay Cornish and Martin Pater. As we move back towards the grid, the battle for P12. Michael Matusiak from the Polish Eagle Hunters team, Jos Schneider and Ricardo Costa from Tugas Racing. Some mistakes by Rodrigo Matos, making it a 4-way battle for now, P11 here. And thank you for the subscription of a mental disorder. Yuri did also his work as a crew member. And indeed, nice battles. Martin Pater currently in P8, so if Martin can continue it in the other races, so in the other 3 quali races, if he finish consistently around that last place for the main top split, for the main events, we could see Martin Pater in the top split of the RaceRoom Communities League. Let's quickly go towards the top drivers. Of course, Thomas Ribeiro pulling away. Already 8 seconds, but the battle for second place is going on between Frieder Braun, Tobias Tierolf, Oriol Balmano, and then already leaving a gap of almost a second, Martin Bakker. Yeah, and maybe also important for the top drivers, the top 8 drivers. Some drivers like Tobias Tierolf, they know they have the capacity to finish in the top 8, and maybe it's wise not to battle it towards the limit, because if you have an incident and you end into the wall and only finish like in a P20 or even a DNF, yeah, that's a lot of points missed. And in the quali stage races, it's not that important that you win, but it's more important that you finish in the top 8 places to guarantee you a place in the top split of the main event races. I will check the quali races, so the calendar for the summer calendar for the RaceRoom Communities League, as we drive today on Laguna Seca, the second quali race, and here on our Twitch channel we will broadcast then the split 2 drivers. And that's in 2 weeks on Mid-Ohio, so the second quali race will be on Mid-Ohio the 5th of July. Next quali races are on Silverstone National Layout, and then the last quali race on the 2nd of August on the Suzuka Grand Prix layout. And for autumn, not that important, but the main event competition of the RaceRoom Communities League will be on the tracks Sonoma, Zandvoort Old Layout, so without the camber, Imola, Brands Hatch and Bathurst. So the final race, the 20th of December, a long way to go, is in Australia at Bathurst. Will we see an attack of Tobias Tirolf in the Andretti hairpin? Tobias Tirolf on the outside, trying to put some more pressure on his fellow German driver, Frieder Braun. And as you can see on the right side, of course, if you don't follow the track limits, it's not like in other games with more than 3 track limits, a drive-through, no. The track limits on RaceRoom are very strict, so it's really the white lines, the curbs doesn't count, so at least 2 tires within the white lines, otherwise you will receive a slowdown penalty, and the slowdown penalties are around half a second up to 2 seconds. Like we see now with Rodrigo Matos. Rodrigo Matos currently driving in P11. And we see yellow flag for Martin Pater. Let's quickly go towards Martin. Where is he? I don't find him. Losing again. Oh! Who was that? That was Rodrigo Matos. Just evaded a second incident, I think. Martin Pater currently. We have Martin Pater, Matosjak, Matos and Jos Snijder. But Martin Pater driving in P8, lost 2 places. Quickly going again towards the top group, Tomias Ribeiro in P1, still building up the gap, now more than 10 seconds, but the fight between the 2 German Mazdas is going on. Frieder Braun back on pace after the suspension damage in race 1, and Tobias Tirolf after the second place in race 1. Now trying to have again a second place here in race 2. Yeah, and Oriol Balmana from the French Onion Soup drivers. Trying to just follow the top drivers here in split 1. Yellow flag for Paul Ricobene, already again on track. Not sure if it was heavy, but yeah, still in P9, and Martin Pater is catching up. So I think Paul Ricobene had an off track, not that heavy, but of course lost a lot of time because Martin Pater also involved in an incident. Now also close the gap towards Paul Ricobene. Yeah, of course, yeah, unlucky number 13, as we presented Paul Ricobene. Not the wisest livery for Paul. Hopefully, this, the next quali races will be better for Paul from the ESR team. And as you can see, I think Ricobene also having some damage here on his Mazda MX-5 after the incident. And the fight still going on. Yellow warnings on the broadcast app, but a fight in red. Jos Sneijder and Matosjak towards the corkscrew chicane. Let's maybe have also some broadcast time for the drivers driving around P15, P20. Dirk Mols from the Housewife Racing team driving in P14. For the VRL Motorsport team from Italy in the very nice... not sure, but I think it's Volcano Red Mazda MX-5 for Fabrizio Gengi. From Spain in P16, Xavi Arias. Another Spanish drivers in P17, Jesus Bolanos. Then a driver who we sometimes see, and now especially in the fun competition at Simracing Belgium, Dennis Amberger from Germany in P18. And then in last place, of still in the main lap, Andreas Seeg, the second driver for the 944 Housewife Racing team. And unfortunate for the Tukas Racing team, a DNF for Ricardo Costa, and Mitsunami for the Onion team, already 5 laps down, so probably... and indeed, Tsunami in the pit lane, probably to repair the Mazda. Frieder Brown still in second position, defending from the attacks of Tirolf and Balmana. And as you could see, Tirolf a little bit wide, and that means that Tirolf will have already a track limit on his count, so more than 2 tires outside the 2 white lines in RaceRoom, directly a track limit. Of course, not directly a slowdown penalty. If you're in that section not improving yourself, it will be only a warning, no slowdown penalty. Yellow for Matusiak, where is he? Rejoining the track, where is this? Yeah, probably the left-hander, the 4th gear left-hander. Yeah, maybe had a contact with the dangerous yellow sausage curb in the corner before the corkscrew. Paul Matusiak, or Michael Matusiak in a P14. The top group still in position. And still, let's move maybe down towards our P1 driver, of course. No thrill for the fight in race 2. The fight for the win, Thomas Ribeiro building his gap now up to 13 seconds. Still impressed with the start of Thomas Ribeiro in race 1. But apparently it was a valid start. But directly moved up. I think Ribeiro was already in the lead in towards the Andretti hairpin. So a start on the 3rd row and directly in the lead in T1, the Andretti hairpin. Very impressive from Thomas Ribeiro. A fight in the back, a fight between Arias and Fabrizio Genki. Two very beautiful liveries of the Mazda. And as all drivers almost as the fights almost ended with only 6 minutes on the clock here in the 2nd race of round 1 of the RaceRoom Communities League, it's maybe the time to introduce the last bit of drivers here in split 1. And we finished with Jay Cornish. Jay Cornish now in 8th position. And let's move down towards Andy Foster, but Andy Foster not participating today. A DNS for Andy Foster, the rear admiral Rachel. One of the slower drivers here in the Communities Leagues from the UK, commanding the slowest ship in the paddock. Andy Foster steers Force and Fury Dice, Testudo Rosso Racing Team with Courage T and some British flair. Udo I thought we had Udolo on the server, but maybe already quitted the race. The Doe Rennfahrer from Germany, so the flag is wrong for Law. Udo always pushing hard, but Brown do small mistakes or blunders and quickly showed Doe after his Homer Simpson avatar. Dirk Mols now driving in a P13. Der Schürzenjager probably ending up between split 2, split 3 for the main event. And as you could see, P13, that's the place of Dirk Mols, the apron hunter. He chases not just records but also the last piece of the cake. Dirk Mols, the fastest house husband on the track for driving for a housewife racing team. Andreas Seeg, let's see, do we have Andreas Seeg? Not anymore, so DNS for a race 2 here in round 1 for Seeg, the second driver for the 944 housewife racing team. Der Hausfrauenjäger, we know him. He cooks, he cleans the racing lines. Andreas Seeg with German precision and home ground fury. Colin Skittles, also a DNF in race 2 for Colin Skittles McQueen. The flash of Colin in a sugar-coated swagger, steady, cheeky and proudly fueled by the candy-colored chaos. Sergei Slepak, let's move towards Sergei Slepak. One of our privateer drivers, the Grom, nicknamed the Grom for his sudden explosive style, grew up fixing Ladas with his father. Here is Sergei Slepak, currently driving in position 6 in split 1. Leaderboard was a P21 overall, so expect Slepak in the top split for the main races. Philip Stritzel also with the DNS, I don't see him in the server. Stritzel blitz, fast as thunder, sharp as a corner, Stritzel strikes where it counts. Then we already had the RaceRoom Netherlands drivers, also a DNS, but of course he had some daddy work to do. The Papamacher from Rotterdam, that on track from the harbor to the track, Rotterdam's fiercest Simracing force from the RaceRoom Netherlands team of Volker de Gouw. Pavel Bogdan also with the DNS because he finished race 1, the Mazda Leslie Dush. And that were all drivers in a split 1, and now with only 1 minute on the clock, we will quickly go towards the race, the battle for second position, but I don't think Tobias Tirolf will push it to the limit. Probably already happy with a podium finish after his second place in race 1 for Tobias Tirolf. So let's stay with some important battles. Dirk Moltz and Rodrigo Matos. Yeah, Dirk Moltz with the move. Where is it? On track. Now going up the mountain, I think, towards the corkscrew? No, not really. No. Oh! Yeah. Oh, and also Dirk Moltz. I thought Moltz was safe. Rodrigo Matos pushed his nose where it not belonged. Didn't have the overlap on Dirk Moltz, and a crash, 2 spins for Rodrigo Matos, and a tight battle between Arias and Fabrizio Gengi in towards the corkscrew. Some battles going on here in the last lap, or final lap is already going on for Thomas Ribeiro. A tight battle between Arias and Fabrizio Gengi. So let's see, where is Ribeiro? Halfway on track towards the corkscrew. And with the back-to-back win, a win in race 1 after the overtake on Tobias Tirolf in the first laps in race 1, and then with a blazing start from P6 towards P1 in the first corner. Also a race victory, an easy race victory for Thomas Ribeiro, currently in the lead in split 1 for the RaceRoom Communities League. Then a battle of Frieder Brown after the suspension damage in race 1. A nice second place for Frieder Brown. In race 2, Tobias Tirolf in third position. A very nice place for Balmana in P4, Martin Bakker P5, Slepak in 6th position, Jay Cornish and Paul Ricubene very close together, the places 7, 8 and 9, and then the 2 RaceRoom Netherlands drivers finishing in P10 and P11 in race 2, Martin Pater, and in the background, Jos Snijder. Then they had an incident. He had an incident. Dirk Moltz from Germany, but a nice finish in P12. Then Matosiak in P13, and from Portugal, Matos maybe not that sure of his P14 for the Comitiva Racing Team, Rodrigo Matos. And then next in P15, Fabrizio Gengi for VRL Motorsports, Jesus Bolanos, Xavi Arias, Dennis Amberger on already a lap. Oh, and I said Seeg was not participating in race 2, but finished the race. Andreas Seeg for the Housewife Racing Team on a lap, but in P19. Also Pavel Bogdan had an DNF, but participated in race 2. Let's quickly go towards the splits here at the RaceRoom Netherlands competition. Correction, at the RaceRoom Communities League. Probably will have some mispronouns for the other races. Of course, not really having the end. Let's maybe quickly go towards the other splits. Can I see the results of race 2? Yeah, not really. But of course, if we start the stream in 2 weeks, let's see, in 2 weeks we will be at Mid-Ohio. In Mid-Ohio we will be at the the second split for the second round of the RaceRoom Communities League. As you can see, the 5th of July we will see us again for the second quali race of the RaceRoom Communities League. So a nice two-way win of Ribeiro, our Portuguese driver, in split 1. Let's see in 2 weeks who will be at the top of the standings in split 2 of the quali races. So let's quickly check if somebody is on the chat, and yes, indeed. Thank you for the congratulations, but was a little bit late with the stream. Hopefully in 2 weeks we will start the stream a little bit earlier, so I can run down all drivers on the server. And Yuri Loki was in P4, so Yuri Loki is Sergei Slepak, so a nice P4, and I think a P6 in the first race. So like I said, Slepak, we can see you in the main races, probably in the top split. Also, thank you indeed, Yuri. See you in 2 weeks. And oh, Yuri Loki, not Slepak, but Oriol Balmana, the French onion soup meme driver. Yes, indeed. Oriol Balmana was saying in the Discord channels, yeah, I will drive as a privateer. The onion soup team is a meme team, but if you say that to me in the Discord channels, I really made, and as you could see in the drivers rundown, made a ChatGPT logo for the French Onion team. So yeah, of course, the French Onion soup team drivers, I Yeah, maybe Balmana probably in the top split during the main events. Of course, I don't think some French onion soup drivers are in split 2, 3 and 4. So maybe see you in a few months, the last Saturday of August. But for the other viewers, see you in 2 weeks for the second quali stage race of the RaceRoom Communities League at Mid-Ohio, the 5th of July. Same timing, maybe a little bit earlier. See you.